Hello, everybody. I'm Eva Medalek, and I am coming to you today. I want to talk to you about religion. I want to talk to you about the hypocrisy in religion and what I am noticing around that. But I also want to talk to you about how the evangelicals and the conservative Christian movement and their ties to the Ku Klux Klan. What we're seeing today is a brazen resurgence of xenophobia, hate, religious righteousness, and its ties to the political world. And I wanted to do this on. Sorry, I lost my thought for a second. And how the events of the last few years, well, I want to say literally, I feel it's the moment Barack Obama won the presidential election and became our president for 8 years. It really gave the white conservative evangelical KKK supported Christians time to get upset, mad, and find someone who would share their xenophobia, their righteousness, and their hypocrisy. Now, here's what I know. The KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, has been responsible for murdering hundreds of thousands of innocent African Americans, innocent Black men, women, and children. It's history. It's part of our history, not being taught in school, but you can Google it and find out more about it. But those same people will be pro-life and will force their pro-life religious beliefs on you. So here's the hypocrisy in that. How can you be pro-life and pro-hate and murder? It just, does anybody else see how this just doesn't jive, as they say, doesn't fit together, doesn't make logical sense? So I actually looked up an article on the Klan and white Christianity. And here's the thing. There was a quote I wanted to read for you on here. Give me a second to find this. The Klan actually was involved deep in white Protestantism and nationalism. And they were built on religious bigotry. And how it appealed to millions of people. I think their rise was more in the 1920s era. They were well involved with the church, well involved with a lot of preachers of the church, and they were always murdering in the name of God. However, these same people are the first ones to criticize Islamic extremists who also kill in the name of God. Another example of the hypocrisy. And first of all, let's be clear. Killing in the name of God, regardless of who your God is or who you worship, it ain't cool, and it's never acceptable, and it's never an excuse for hate and violence. That's my stand. However, most people, I want to read these statistics here. And it was from a 2017 report that said 50% of Americans in general say that violence in the name of Islam does not represent Islam. And 75% say the same of Christianity. So you've got that double standard. White mainline Protestants and Catholics reject the idea. I think 77% of Protestants and 79% of Catholics reject the idea that true Christians act violently, but only 41% of them are willing to say the same of Muslims. Isn't that interesting? And you can see the xenophobia at play here. And it really keeps us from coming to terms with vicious religious extremism in our own country. We're so willing to believe it in other countries, but not in our own. So, there's so much history in the Klan and in the white evangelical Protestants, the fact that they use a cross. There's a religious hymn called the Old Rugged Cross that the Klan actually has their kind of, I don't know, hymn or theme song after, and it's called the Bright Fiery Cross. And, it's just scary what's happening today. It's really scary what's happening in the hypocrisy in religion and politics, and what's on the rise again in our country, what's really, really blatantly on the rise in our country. And I'm saying this to you all, keeping in mind that here's another thing I want to share with you. White evangelicals voted at a rate of 81% for a president who fueled his political career on birtherism, demagoguery, and violent rhetoric. How can we be surprised, right? A higher proportion of white evangelical Protestants say Obama is a Muslim than any other religious group surveyed. And Donald Trump, in their eyes, was a courageous truth teller. And what's scary is how the key leaders in the evangelical world justify that president, Donald Trump's severe and immoral policies with such ease. It's so easy for them. And it's similar to the support of the church with the Klan. It's similar. So, guys, we got to open our eyes to what's happening here. We have got to open our eyes and not let history repeat itself. That's why it's so important to learn about history, to know history, and to not hide it from the young people who are growing up today so that they don't repeat the same sins as their fathers, because it's totally in the DNA. I also want to share with you I think I can put it in the chat here, an article that I just wrote. Is Hypocrisy a Religion? I wrote it, it's a Brains article I wrote on Brains magazine. Let's see if it lets me share that. And I really go deep into how religion and hypocrisy, and it just doesn't make sense. It's scary, and how otherwise seemingly logical people can let this level of hate and xenophobia, crowd logic. It just doesn't make sense. And the number of people who buy this crap is unbelievable to me. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you today. That's my rant. You can reach out to me at evamedilek.com. I am happy to continue this conversation, and please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.